Welcome to this class. Now, we will look at one more case study. This is a case study of a software firm. It is many of you might have known this. It was earlier called iFlex Solutions. Now, it is called Oracle Financial Software Solutions after it was taken over by Oracle company. This is also a case study taken from my book only on case studies. Kindly go through this case study in the book. I am analyzing this case study for your benefit, so that you will get to know how to analyze this type of case study. So, how do you go about introducing this firm? This firm Gartner defines a core banking system as a bank end system that processes daily banking transactions and posts updates to accounts and other financial records. So, this iFlex, as you can make out, is in the business of core banking system. So, it is a back end system. It processes daily banking transactions. This is updated to accounts and other financial records of the bank. This iFlex has been constantly innovating new products for its global customer base, and today it is considered the leading provider of e-solutions for financial services industry worldwide. So, here is a firm which started with a humble base and then has moved to be a global service provider. Okay. So, we will come to that a little later. It has a CICMM level 5 rating. This places them among the top 2% of all the software organizations in the world. As of 2013, its customer base spread across 142 countries. So, it may be interesting for you to look at the customer base in the present day context. How has the present customer base improved further? Maybe 2018, 19, you can try to get the data and make a comparison how it has improved further. Started as a Citicorp Information Technology Industries Limited back in 93, could not sell products to Citibank's competitors, because these were people who broke away from Citibank, started this company called Citicorp Information Technology Industries Limited. So, Citibank put one rider before leaving them to start this venture, that they cannot sell products to Citibank's competitors. In other words, this is a Citibank team's outfit which started this company, first as Citicorp Information Technology Industries Limited. Then in the year 2000, it was called iFlex. First it was called Citil. Then in the year 2000, its name became iFlex. So, lot of internet was used, top line solution which was provided by this company was Flex Cube. That is a product which became highly popular by then only was Flex Cube. So, one of the beneficiaries of this Flex Cube was also the Canara Bank. Okay. Now, by 2005, this Oracle Financial Software Solutions, shortly known as Oracle, they bought this iFlex. So, iFlex ceased to exist as Oracle, as iFlex by 2005, and it was bought by Oracle for $909 million. So, just to see the type of capitalization this firm, market capitalization this firm has achieved in a very short time. So, just in a matter of a decade, it has moved to $909 million. So, acquired by Oracle for $909 million. So, what are the types of product offerings which this company gives? One of the products which is very well known given by this company is the Flex Cube. What is this Flex Cube? Flex Cube is a universal banking solution which meets enterprise needs in retail, corporate and investment banking. In other words, it is a back end tool for banking industry. So, it is reliable, possesses industry strength and is available with multi-currency and multilingual support. So, this is one of the reasons why this Flex Cube has been able to penetrate the global market. It was ranked as the number 1 selling banking solution for 4 consecutive years from 2002 to 2005. So, it is a great achievement for so when it was started as CITL, it was just a startup. From the startup, when it became iFlex, to come out with a product Flex Cube and then to be ranked as number 1 selling banking solution for 4 consecutive years, quite a significant achievement from 2002 to 2005. So, Revelius is the next product. It is leading global provider of analytical applications for financial services industry. In other words, this is one of the earliest firms to apply analytics for providing solutions to the banking industry in particular. So, this is again a great achievement, considering that it was from 2000 only this firm has delved into analytics. So, in order to come out with this product, it must have done lot of research even much before that. The third product is what is called the Daybreak TM. What is this Daybreak TM? It is a comprehensive consumer lending system that streamlines all aspects of automobile financing. So, initially if you saw the first 2 products, it was in the banking industry and the financial services industry. Now, keeping the same core of finance, this product Daybreak TM moves into automobile financing. The fourth product which this company was able to get was by acquiring a majority stake in a company called Castex Software Inc. This is a Toronto based global insurance system provider, again in the financial industry. iFlex acquired that. I acquired a major stake in this company, with the result it could move into this insurance system also. The last one is Mantos. It is a behavior detection platform. What does this give? It is a most comprehensive solution for detecting risk, enhancing customer relationship, and addressing regulatory requirements and anti-money laundering. So, this money laundering is in currency, this term, number of times during the recent times actually. So many cases listed against so many leading people in this money laundering act by the government. Okay. So, this is a product coming out by this firm iFlex, Mantos, which can help detect risk, enhance customer relationship, and address regulatory requirements and anti-money laundering. So, when you look at these products, you will feel very happy that a firm which started as a small firm, a breakaway from Citibank, a group of people breaking away from Citibank, were able to come out with a startup, then changed the name, then came out with such wonderful products, and one of their products was rated as number 1 selling banking solution for 4 consecutive years from 2002 to 2005, which is a remarkable achievement, and bought by Oracle in 2005 for a staggering $909 million. So, this is all this information is available to you in the case study itself, which is given here. So, this is also a wonderful way of studying an actual industry, a realistic industry, whether it is in software or whether it is in services that we discussed earlier, that is the cafe coffee day. You will be able to appreciate how these firms, though they have operated in highly competitive environment, are able to make a mark, have a niche, create a niche for themselves in the marketplace, and also able to have a wonderful market capitalization, a very high market capitalization within a short period. So, this is apart from these offerings, iFlex also steps in service sector through its domain and technology centers of excellence and provides customized solutions in BFS, banking and financial services. Okay. So, these are the product offerings of iFlex. Has made a great mark. Start looking at the way, tracing its history within a very short period in the marketplace. Its product its product base also very good. One of its products used almost in a number of countries in the world, that is a Flex Cube. So, when we look at all this, we proceed to the next. How do we do a SWOT analysis for this type of a firm? What is the strengths of this firm? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities that are available to a firm like this? So, if you look at the types of strengths, its presence is in 142 countries, that is 2013 data. So, it might have increased much further by 2018. So, very strong financials. So, it has a very good financial base in the core banking system, can give good financial solutions. It has unique and beneficial strategic relationship with Oracle. So, Oracle was keenly looking at iFlex right from the beginning, its offerings and all that, ultimately bought over iFlex. So, high value products like FlexCube, 100% focused on banks and financial services. It is not into any other field. So, it is concentrating on BFS, totally into BFS. So, these are the strengths of this firm, and when you start looking at this firm, you will only admire the courage of this group which started this CITL, then became iFlex, came out with such wonderful products again. Then what are the weaknesses of this firm? One of the strong weakness of this firm is, as of 2013-14, it was not having great presence in the United States. So, any global firm, especially a software firm, to make its global presence felt, it must and should have a presence in US. So, because US is the number one leading country in all these types of services in the world. So, here this iFlex was having minimum presence, possibly by now due to its getting taken over by Oracle, its presence in US might have improved substantially. So, the other aspect of iFlex, if you want to call it a weakness, sometimes you may try to say why it should be termed as weakness. But you are depending on one aspect very much, that is iFlex was dependent on exports only. 96% of its revenues were coming from exports. So, it was basically a financial services product industry making its revenue through exports. So, to that extent you can call it a weakness. Then what are the types of opportunities that you can have for a firm of this nature? One of the great opportunities which it can have is to insurance, the area of insurance, for which this company has tried to get in already. The second one is this fast growing data warehousing business. This was yet to be tapped by this company at that point of time. So, it would be interesting for you to look at this S, W, O and T, whether they remain the same or whether there are some changes in 2018-19. So, this was in 2013-14. This was the way you could do a SWOT analysis for this firm, and it would be interesting for you if you attempt this same analysis in 2018-19 to find out how is this whether all these S, W, O and T remain the same or have they changed. The next one was spend driven by key trends. What is this spend driven by key trends? What is this? This is your big data, mobility, cloud, all this making you, these are the key trends. This is this big data, mobility and cloud, they contribute to this key trends. Spend driven by key trends. So, these are the ones which are providing the opportunities. So, you are getting into big data, itself is a big opportunity which the company can tap on. Then what are the types of threats? Any firm which puts out a product into the market, which I have discussed so many times, lends itself vulnerable to imitation. So, the product becomes vulnerable to imitation. So, when it becomes vulnerable to imitation, the threat is that of substitute products being offered in the market at a lower cost to capture the market, that is capture the market share. So, whether it is IT services or whether it is a product in any other type of industry, manufacturing or whatever, if you put a new product into the market, you are always exposed to the threat of getting imitative or getting the products getting imitated by your competitors. So, when they imitate these products and are able to come out with substitute products at a lower cost, your market share, that is the company original company's market share, gets affected substantially. So, in fact, just to give you an instance, back in the 80s, IBM was the leading computer manufacturer. So, IBM 360 was considered to be one of the top end processing machines in the world. So, at that time the Soviet Union, now Soviet Union has got split, now Russia is the major this thing, it was the USSR. It wanted to break this dominance of IBM. So, come out with its own computers in the market. So, what did they do? They took this IBM 360 and did what we call the reverse engineering. So, ripped open the whole system, came out with a substitute which was very similar to the IBM 360. So, because USSR was a powerful country next only to the US then, it started exerting pressure on other countries to buy this product, to try at least this product. One of the countries on which it exerted pressure to try this product was India also. What is the type of incentive it gave to a country like India? It said, why do you want to buy from IBM? We will supply a similar product like what you are looking for from IBM at no cost, that is, you do not have to pay anything. The only thing that we want from your side is that your programmers will be assisting in solutions for problems in USSR. So, at one point of time there were 80 computer professionals solving problems of USSR in return for this type of computers. Okay. Now, the most important point, this is a computer which is based on the lines of this well known IBM product developed by this rival country, but when developing this product one error happened. What is that? The processing time in this computer developed by USSR was at least 10 times more than that of the IBM. So, if you could solve in 1 minute a problem in IBM, here you would require 10 times, that is 10 minutes to solve the same problem. The second aspect which people noted, that is the computer professionals noted, was they took lot of efforts, painstaking efforts to develop programs, then run on this computer. Sometimes it used to give wrong results, and these results had drastic implications for the end user. For example, for one of the states, when it was asked to computerize the matriculation exam results at that point of time, that is the late 70s, due to some error in this processing, what happened was, it was a great mistake which happened, that is, good students got low marks, that is, students who had done well in the exam got low marks thanks to this imitated computer from USSR, and students who had not done so well got very good marks. So, a reversal had taken place, and this was a great heartburn for many of these merited students from a particular state in India, and many of them committed suicide also. So, this is the type of drastic implications you can have when you try to imitate the product of a leading producer just by this method of reverse engineering, that is, ripping open the product and trying to come with an imitated product. Somewhere you are likely to make some errors which can prove very costly. So, this was a real instance which happened, and its effects were felt in our country only. So, what is the implication? So, those substitute products for Flex Cube, you can still gain, you can still find them. The banking system should be very wary of using such products, because one small error can prove to be very costly. This is the first one, the threat. The second threat is you have some well established firms like Infosys, TCS, SAP. They can give a very strong competition to in iFlex. So, in fact, at that point of time only Infosys had come out with Finacle, its financial offering to the market, and Finacle is also used by a number of banks and very successfully in the Indian market. One of the banks which is using it on a day to day basis on an extraordinary scale, and which is where it has made a very good mark is the ICICI Bank itself, which uses the Infosys offering. So, the other threat which I just mentioned, easy imitation of product. You can see how this product is functioning, whether you can imitate this product, all these types of things. The fourth threat is low growth due to global economic conditions. That is, suppose the economy, the global economy is not growing well, let us say, that is what is happening in the present day, then it is going to affect the growth of these types of companies also, that is the revenues of these companies also. It is also likely to come down. Okay. So, this is what we are seeing in the present day due to this economic slowdown globally. Okay. So, there was, if you saw some newspaper media announcements that in the next year there is likely to be a cut in jobs, IT jobs. Why the cut in IT jobs? This is because of this global economic slowdown. So, this is the type of analysis that you should be doing for a firm of this nature. So, this gives you a wonderful base to analyze the firm. So, we move further. What are the types of key performance indicators that you can have? If you look at it, the share of Europe, Middle East and Africa by revenue, operating revenue, it is 34%. These are 2013-14 figures, kindly note that. And North America was 36%. By that yardstick, almost if you look at the competitors like Infosys, more than 70% of its revenues was coming from North America during that time only. So, the Asia, in fact, even much more, maybe 80% only. So, the Asia Pacific was contributing to 30%. So, you have Europe, Middle East and Africa contributing to 34, North America contributing to 36, Asia Pacific contributing to 30. So, this was a type of performance which this firm was able to craft by 2013-14. And what are the types by portfolio, revenues by portfolio? The product revenue was contributing to 77%, maximum by this FlexCube only, and services was contributing, the financial services base essentially, to 20%. The BPO services was contributing to 3%. So, if you look at the types of customers serviced in countries, by in 13-14 the number of customers was something like 1132 and the countries serviced was 142. So, 142 countries were serviced by this company iFlex. So, quite a remarkable achievement for a firm which was more or less a startup to get this. If you look at the achievements, its revenue increased by 8% over the previous years in 13-14 to 37,413 million rupees. The net income increased to 1353 million, again in rupees, an increase of 26%. Company gained a profit of 11,483 million in 2013-14, which was an increase of 12% over previous year. In March 2001, FlexCube bagged Banking Software 2000 award from the Chartered Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. December 2006, this Forrester Research, a very big name, it placed iFlex in the leaders wave. In 2011, by which time iFlex had become OFSS, that is the Oracle Financial Service Solutions, it was ranked 253 in Fortune India 500 list. So, a great achievement by this firm. So, these next ones are giving you some more details. These details are essentially coming from the types of ratios I have discussed when we do a case analysis. I said we will look at profitability ratios, we will look at activity ratios, we will look at liquidity ratios, we will look at current ratios, and we will also look at other ratios. When you look at the profitability ratios, look at the adjusted cash margin. If you see, it is around 32.7% in 32.07% in March 14. If you look at the return on long term funds, very steady, it is at 20.47%. So, right from 2010 to 2014, the return is around 20%, which is very steady. So, if you looked at the current ratios, again a very healthy one, standing at 6.62, a quick ratio taking your inventory also into account. It also is at 6.55 in 2014, again very healthy for a firm. Now, these were the questions which were asked or which have been asked in this case. I am giving you some points here. Later on, we will discuss them in more detail. So, the first question that was asked was, should OFSS sustain FlexCube for its brand value or think of cannibalizing it in the next 2 years? So, this was the first question that was asked. The answer for this shortly is, you should cannibalize it by versioning, that is, come out with versions of the products. So, this was also the method which Windows used. Kindly note that Windows cannibalized its very good product Windows 95, came out with a new version Windows 98. Now, what is the present day? This thing you are having your 2010 upwards, all these versions. So, if the present day boy who is using the IT may not even remember Windows 95. So, apply software product strategy. So, this is the one which is, these are 2 points which we will discuss these points in more, in slightly more detail. I have also, I have produced a Word document where we discuss this in further detail. These are points which I am giving as answers to this question. The second question that is asked was discuss company's possible strategy to tackle the emergence of new entrants in the financial service products and solutions market. What are the types of strategies that you could adopt? So, these are points which I am giving you. We will discuss this in more detail in the Word document which I am going to present to you in the next class. The points are, you can look at a low base product pricing strategy, then piggybacking on the Oracle brand. Oracle is a well established brand and iFlex taken over by Oracle can always piggyback on that brand. Then mergers and acquisitions, have taken Daybreak, have taken Castech. So, that is acquired this 2 firms. International certifications, that is the CMMI. So, these are the points which are being given. Kindly note, we will expand on this in the next class. The third question that was asked was, should the company have an explicit TQM policy? Justify. Although Oracle FlexCube is appreciated for its rich features, it is often criticized for low quality and high occurrence of software bugs. So, this is where a TQM policy can be useful in improving the product quality. The fourth question that is asked is, how can you draw a strategic canvas for OFSS for the international positioning of its product and services? How can you draw a strategic canvas? These are points, kindly note, you have to elaborate on all these points, that I will do it in the Word document which I am presenting to you. One is, you can tap new technological frontiers. Second is, you can do the forecasting of the trend and preemptive product development. So, you can look at what is a trend, come out with the product developments, preempt it also before somebody, your competitor comes out with a new version, you are there. Then country specific strategies, diversification of product offerings, then international campaigns, tie-ups and partnerships. These are the things which you should look at, can look at in a strategic canvas for OFSS, for the international positioning of its product and services. Okay. So, we will stop here. In the next class, we will discuss all these points through the Word document which I am going to present to you. Okay. Thank you.